If you're in school right now, money feels like a constant pressure in the background. Fees, rent, gadgets, family expectations, and every time you think about earning more, the same fear hits. If I focus on money, my grades will collapse. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most students don't fail financially because they lack talent. They fail because they chase the wrong kind of income at the wrong time. And right now, that mistake is more expensive than ever. Tuition is rising, entry-level jobs are shrinking, and the gap between skilled and unskilled earners keeps widening. But there's a quiet group of students doing something different. They're not skipping classes, they're not gambling on crypto or hype, they're building $10,000 in income while still studying. Not overnight, not magically, systematically. And once you see how the system works, you'll realize why leaving this video halfway would cost you far more than your time. The first thing you need to understand is what $10,000 actually means in a student's life. Most people imagine it as one big number. That's where things go wrong. $10,000 is just $833 a month, or roughly $28 a day. Suddenly, it stops sounding impossible and starts sounding strategic. The mistake students make is trying to earn this money the same way adults do: full-time jobs, fixed hours, low leverage. School already consumes your best hours, so the real constraint isn't intelligence, it's time and energy. Once you see money as a system that fits around school instead of fighting it, the pressure drops. This shift matters because every income decision you make from here on either drains your academic focus or quietly supports it, and most people never pause to design that balance.
Now let's talk about leverage, because this is where most people miss the point. You don't need more hours, you need higher value per hour. A student working 20 hours a week at a low-paying job hits a hard ceiling fast, but a student selling a skill can earn the same amount in a fraction of the time. Skills are leverage because they scale. Writing, design, video editing, data analysis, tutoring, basic coding, none of these require you to be a genius. They require structured learning and practice. The global economy already accepts remote skill-based work. That's not a trend. That's how businesses reduce costs. Here's where things get interesting. Companies don't care that you're a student. They care whether you solve a problem. Once you internalize that, money stops feeling locked behind age or degrees. The next mistake is choosing the wrong skill. Students often chase what sounds impressive instead of what pays consistently. The smartest move is to look for boring but valuable problems. Businesses pay reliably for things that save time, increase sales, or reduce confusion. Updating websites, managing emails, editing short videos, organizing spreadsheets, teaching one concept clearly. These aren't glamorous, but they're in constant demand. Think about this. Every small business owner is overwhelmed. They don't need brilliance, they need reliability. This is where students win. You already know how to learn fast and follow systems. Start with one skill, just one. Go deep enough to be useful, not perfect. The goal isn't mastery, the goal is usefulness. That single decision alone separates earners from dreamers.
Once you have a skill, the real game begins: distribution. Talent without visibility earns nothing. Most students wait to be ready before they show their work. That delay kills momentum. You don't need a website, you don't need a logo, you need proof. One simple portfolio, 3 examples, one clear sentence explaining what problem you solve. Then you put it where demand already exists: freelance platforms, student networks, small businesses, online communities. Here's where things usually break. People send generic messages and get ignored. Instead, speak directly to a pain. I noticed your videos aren't optimized for short platforms. I can fix that this week. Specific beats confident. Always. This step feels uncomfortable, but discomfort is often just growth showing up early. Now let's address consistency, because income doesn't jump, it stacks. Your first $500 feels slow. Your next $1,000 feels easier. Momentum compounds when systems replace effort. Fixed weekly blocks, 2 evenings, 1 weekend morning, non-negotiable. This protects your grades and your energy. Use simple tracking: income earned, hours spent, skills improved. Most people avoid tracking because it exposes reality, but clarity creates control. Here's the psychological shift. You stop thinking like a struggling student and start thinking like a small operator. You learn which work pays, which drains you, and which clients aren't worth keeping. That awareness alone can double your effective income without adding a single hour. And that's when $10,000 stops being a target and starts becoming a byproduct.
At this point, many students hit a dangerous temptation, scaling too fast. More clients, more tasks, less sleep, grades slip, stress rises. This is where smart earners slow down. Instead of adding more work, they increase prices or improve efficiency, raise rates for new clients, package services, automate small tasks, use templates. The goal isn't to hustle harder, it's to protect your cognitive bandwidth. School is still an investment. You're not escaping it, you're leveraging it. Here's the irony. Students who respect their time earn more than those who sacrifice everything. Burnout doesn't look dramatic at first. It looks like lost focus and quiet exhaustion. Avoiding it is part of the strategy, not a luxury. Finally, let's talk about the long-term edge. Earning $10,000 while studying isn't just about money. It rewires how you see work. You stop chasing grades blindly and start connecting learning to real outcomes. Concepts stick faster. Confidence grows. You begin to negotiate instead of accept. And when you graduate, you're not starting from zero. You already understand clients, value, and income flow. Most people miss this compounding effect. They think student income is just side money. It's not. It's training for autonomy. The earlier you learn to create value independently, the harder it becomes for any economy to ignore you. And that mindset stays with you long after the money is spent.
Let's pull this together. Making $10,000 while going to school isn't about luck, hype, or sacrificing your future. It's about alignment. Aligning your time with leverage, aligning your skills with real problems, aligning your effort with systems that compound. The moment you stop seeing yourself as just a student and start seeing yourself as a value creator, the pressure eases. Money becomes predictable instead of stressful. School becomes lighter instead of heavier. You don't need to do everything. You need to do a few things consistently and intentionally. That's the quiet advantage most people never build. And once you experience earning money without burning yourself out, you'll realize this wasn't just about $10,000. It was about control, confidence, and choice. If this shifted how you think about money and school, stay with me on this journey. Subscribe and treat this channel like a long-term financial education, not a quick fix. And I want to hear from you. What skill do you already have, or which one are you thinking of learning first? Your answer might help someone else watching silently right now.